All right, now let's talk about Wednesday's workout. We do have a strength piece in here. If you guys have the equipment available, we'll talk about ways we can modify that. And then we also have a very fast and intense piece, a little bit like Fran, but we're tossing in that jump rope, so we'll make it a little bit more spicy today. Let's go ahead and start by talking about our weighted strict pull-ups and all the variations that can kind of come in behind that movement specifically. All right, so let's talk about weighted strict pull-up. If you have a weight belt, awesome. If you don't, we can also pinch objects between our thighs like Coach Jenny's demoing. But she's gonna go ahead and get an overhand grip, starting a dead hang. She's gonna pull all the way up, chin over, make sure there's a controlled lower back down. Okay. Now we're gonna build up to a heavy single today, so just one, take a break for about 3 minutes between. If we don't have that, we're gonna go a max set of strict pull-ups without the load. So she's just gonna move her body weight through space, same rules apply. Chin clears over top, she's gonna lock out in the bottom. Now if we don't have a rig, a couple other ways we can do this, right? If you have a set of rings, we can go ring row, we can go chin rack row, which we'll talk about here in a second. Ring row, she's gonna lie on back, knees are locked, and she can go different variations with her hands. The further forward her feet are, the more difficult, and she's gonna try to touch her chest with her hands, with either a neutral grip like she's demoing, or just a regular grip to mimic the actual pull-up bar itself. Another way we can modify is with dumbbells and what we call a duo dumbbell bent over row. So Coach Jenny's gonna grab her dumbbells. As always, she's gonna hinge at the hips with a flat back. So once she's set here in the low back, there's no rounding out. She can go neutral grips like she's demoing now with the thumbs forward, pull and touch her chest with the head of the dumbbell all the way down, or she can flare her elbows just like the pull-up bar, same concept, hinging over, 15 reps there. Another way we can modify it is what we call a chin rack row. All right, now let's talk about the chin rack row. If you have a barbell and you have a rack, squat stand, you can take the J-hooks, face them away from you, and the bar pressing in for safety, okay? So Coach Jenny's gonna get a shoulder width grip on the bar, thumbs around, and the further forward her feet are, the more difficult. But essentially what she's gonna do the same thing as her ring row. Knees are locked. She's gonna pull her elbows behind her torso, get her chin up over the bar. Same thing, locking out the elbows in the bottom. Now, if we don't have the privilege of having all this equipment, I'm pretty sure that most of us have a broomstick in our rooms, or at least in our house somewhere, right? So what Jenny's gonna do, another variation, she's gonna keep that same shoulder width grip, set her shoulders. She's gonna pull that broomstick to her chest, hold for 5 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, all the way to 5, extend back out. That's 1 repetition, okay? Now she's gonna do the total reps, 15 reps here, and what she's really trying to do is contract all this musculature in the rear portion of her back. So as she pulls the bar to her shoulder, her chest, her shoulders are really contracted, just getting right and tight in here, okay? Another way we can modify. Now let's talk about the barbell thruster. If you guys got them, let's use them. Coach Shady's gonna keep a closed grip on the bar, elbows are high enough to clear her knees in the bottom of her squat. She's gonna come all the way down, all the way up, and at the top she's going to stay nice and tight through her midline before she lowers that bar back down. Now if we don't have a barbell, we can also modify to dumbbell thrusters, okay? Now this can be done with 2 dumbbells or even 1, which we'll talk about. But she's going to set up. This time, the rear head of the dumbbell is going to rest on her shoulders. She's going to lower all the way down again and pop it off her collar at the top. Still staying tight and rigid, wrist is nice and taut as well. Now again, if we don't have 2 dumbbells, no problem, okay? Instead of going 15 reps on today's workout, we're gonna go 7 and 7. 7 on one side, single dumbbell thruster. Once she's done with her 7 there, she'll switch to the opposite side. Now our recommendation here, start with your weak side first and then go to your strong side because that heart rate's gonna be elevated quite a bit. If we don't have dumbbells, no problem. If you have handstand push-ups, we're gonna work on them today, and we'll talk about ways we can modify that movement as well. She's gonna come out over to the wall. She's gonna kick up for her strict handstand push-up we got. Now remember here, we wanna make sure we've already had this skill in place. Today's not the day to try to kick up without a coach present. But if you have them in the bag, you feel really confident with them, this is what it's gonna look like. She's gonna kick up, she's gonna get nice and rigid, come all the way down, touch her head, all the way through. Come on out, Coach Jenny, awesome. Now as always, if we wanna stack some pillows, some ab mats that we've got them, we can kind of lower that range of motion, make it a little bit easier if you guys need to. If we don't have that, we can also do handstand holds, again, if you feel confident kicking upside down. So Coach Shady's gonna kick up, handstand hold. We wanna make sure her hands are close, she's staying nice and rigid. 30 seconds here would be ideal. If not, we can always modify that time down. Now if that's too much, we can move to what we call a front lean and rest hold. Basically the top of a push-up. Coach Shady's gonna come down, plank position, and we can make this really hard or really easy depending on our toes. Now she's doing the easier variation here, where her shoulders are over her wrist, she's nice and rigid. If she wants to make it harder, she can rock her weight forward so her toes are pressing down straight into the floor. Now there's a big angle between her body, her arms, and the floor. Okay, so a couple ways we can modify, but again, working upwards of 30 seconds. All right, now we do have some monostructural movements in here, i.e. the jump rope, if we have it, okay? So she's gonna start with her double under. Double under's gonna pass on her feet twice. Notice that she's rotating at her wrist. If you don't have that, we can go single under. So now the rope's only gonna pass on her once. You will see a little bit more arm moving here, and that's okay. Awesome, Coach Shady. If all else fails, we don't have a jump rope, no worries. We have double taps as well. She's gonna jump into the air, 2 taps on her thighs to mimic the double under, or single taps, 1 tap on the thigh as she moves through. Now if you are doing the body weight track, we also have a different movement in here for you guys. It's very good for our core. It's gonna continuously load up the shoulder, moving off of the wall. Now we're gonna talk about our mountain climber. Okay, very, very difficult to do if we do them appropriately. So Coach Shady's gonna come down in her push-up plank position, and she's going to bring her knee to touch the same side elbow as she alternates her feet back and forth. So this will be 1, 2, 3, all the way up until she achieves the total number of reps that is listed for the workout today. All right, now some tips on this. If you guys have the weighted strict pull-up, as always, make sure you're not jumping up to the bar. Have a platform to step off of, that way we can kind of minimize any type of jarring in the shoulder joint. Build up as heavy as you can. Again, make sure you have that appropriate rest time in between so we can really allow the body to recover before we go for another attempt. If we don't have it, 1 attempt at a max set of strict pull-ups, or if we don't have that to work with, again, we can modify with the ring row, the chin rack row, any of those variations we did talk about when we were going through the movements. Now for the workout, this is gonna be a really high intensity piece. It's very much like Fran, as we had mentioned. And we're gonna have a 12-minute time cap on it. Loading needs to be something you can do 15 reps in a row with for the thruster, whether that's on the bar or the dumbbell. If we're going into handstand push-ups and 10 reps is too many, I want you guys to think about scaling back the number of repetitions so that you can still get those movements in, and you're also getting the volume accumulation that we can use to kind of build and train upon that. Double unders, heart rate's gonna skyrocket a little bit. Try to control your breathing as much as possible. Pull-ups, same thing. If you can hang on for big sets, let's do it. But I want you guys to think about increasing paces per round. So if round 1 takes you 3 minutes, round 2 should take you about 2:30. Round 3 should be done in about 2 minutes. At least that would be the goal, is increasing as we go through this. Now some tips here. If that's gonna be too much for you guys to hang on to the pull bar or the bar for 15 in a row unbroken, which is gonna be challenging, then I would recommend approaching it where every set you come back into it, you have less work to do. So i.e. 6, 5, and then 4, minimal rest breaks between. Then we kind of break it up. Even if we don't plan to break from the very beginning, could be a very good strategy as you guys get after this. Now if we're talking about this one here, our body weight track, know that you are loading the shoulder into another loaded shoulder position, moving from the strict handstand push-up or variation into that mountain climber. Highly suggest coming off of your arms, shaking it out in between, and then try to monitor that heart rate again at the top of each double or tap or single tap if you guys choose to do that. For everybody, if you have some additional time, and this applies to every day, get outside in the sunlight when we have that sunlight available. Walk outside, move some blood, just recover, and make sure you guys take a loved one. This is a hard time, but we're gonna make sure we make the most of it. Get after it, we'll see you guys soon.